I wish I could stop stammering.
I mean, I could get a taser and tase your ass every time you stammer.
No. Perhaps I misspoke. You know what? It turns out I don't mind stammering.
I used to watch Pulp Fiction and laugh, and now I'm like, that poor Kip is somebody's child.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Look for us on the cover of Tiger Beat magazine. Give it up for your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
Yow, I'm Mike.
Woo! Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 253.
We are stupid excited.
Oh, my
If you
God.
haven't already, go back and listen to 252. We didn't suck on that one.
No.
Yeah.
252 is one of the best episodes we've ever done.
Yeah, and
I'm not screwing around.
No, and you need to hear it to understand what happens in this episode.
You do.
You'll be left behind.
Yeah, that's right. And normally we don't have any. What's it called?
Requirements, pre-requirements.
No.
Ongoing storyline.
That is, but no, it's like when somebody at the end of an episode is a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
we
we're
normally
on
don't have
cliffhangers.
cliffhangers.
No, we
What's-
go out like
what-
Tony Soprano at the end of Sopranos every time. Just
what
goes
happened in last
fade.
week's episode?
Yeah, just stuff.
Because I have no idea what you're. I'm Darin.
I haven't listened to it yet. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
So, I would like to talk about, Vess and I had a new fight.
Oh,
So we've, in previous episodes...
isn't that awesome how
Yeah.
after so many years you finally fight over something new?
Well, it was-
I wish Libby and I could fight over something new.
It's the same fight, it's just a different object is involved in the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
yeah.
a long-time listeners will remember the great pancake fight, where she kept taking the good
She
pancake.
always takes the good
Well,
pancake.
now we had a fight about mugs, and
Okay.
I think 99% of our audience
Uh-huh.
is going to be on my side on this one.
Okay.
And probably Libby will be against me. But other than that,
Well, duh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about, last night we saw the Minecraft movie.
Okay.
The Minecraft movie.
The Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am going to talk about how I realized that I need to just stop talking to people when I'm out in public. And there's a reason for it.
Can you make me one of those people you don't talk to in public?
I never see you out in public.
We saw you in the bathroom.
That's
in
right,
Kroger,
at
of all
Kroger,
the
yes.
weird places.
Yeah.
Um,
And you look like a stalker.
yeah.
You look like you were there to kill me.
That's how I go to Kroger. Did I have the hoodie?
You
I
had the hood on, yeah. You really didn't listen to last week's episode, did you? You were in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How you been? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Sorry.
Did you get your taxes done? It's April
Oh,
the 15th.
crap. That's today. Yeah, I'll do that real quick after
Yeah.
we're done
You
recording
got
this podcast.
like 4 hours.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It came with a couple hiccups. Mm-hmm. Last year we had a few hiccups.
Okay.
And actually, our accountant ended up giving us our taxes for free.
Oh.
Because of the hiccups that we incurred.
That would have been nice. Just filing our taxes was a substantial amount. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking at it because it's a long story that
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into here.
Well, Mike, Mike and I are podcasters. So
Yes.
with all the money that rolls in here,
Yeah.
Mike falls into a different tax bracket.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the 2 cents.
Yeah.
Last year, I will tell you this. Last year when I was doing the taxes, because we do get some income, but the expenses outweigh what comes in.
That's true.
So last year when I did my taxes, TurboTax is very helpful.
Uh-huh.
And I know that they have people on their staff.
TurboTax called you up and said, bruh,
No,
sorry.
no. Basically, but they do it a nice way. They're not going to come right out and say, bruh, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
But it popped up a little window. It said, sometimes what we consider hobbies aren't really businesses. It literally it was like
This
happy
is more
thoughts
of a
with Jack,
hobby, isn't it?
real thoughts with Jack Handy or
Uh-huh.
whatever that was.
Yeah, deep
and
thoughts.
And it said, "Would you like to know more?" Of course, yeah. I
Yeah,
clicked "Know
yeah.
more," and it said, "You've progressively taken losses." With this venture, is it possible that this is being done solely for fun and your own enjoyment as opposed to a legitimate business? I'm like, I would prefer if it would have just come right out and called me some 4-letter words.
Yeah.
The it being nice and it being a machine doing that.
Could it really be more of a hobby?
It literally said that. And I had
We've
a button.
taken a dive for
Yeah,
the past
and
5 years.
Because our taxes are weird. We've got stuff with West Virginia and different, so we have to file in West Virginia and Ohio.
That's right.
And the federal. We always get like the top TurboTax, the one that's just under, do you own NASA?
Yeah.
That one. And there's always a little button, ask. It's somebody different every time.
Jeeves?
Like a real tax professional, but they have like a little picture.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, ask Kara or ask Ted, and you could click them. And I almost clicked Ted to say, Ted, really? Really? You guys are coming at me for my podcast? But anyway, finally got the taxes done.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
Phyllis, this is not funny.
This is not funny. Well, technically it is. Toilet humor, which you claim to enjoy.
It is not toilet humor. It is toilet tragedy.
This past Saturday was Record Store Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I did.
Okay.
I wasn't really that excited about going, but I am excited about my haul. My haul.
Haul.
That's what people say.
That's my haul.
You get in the Record Store comment section.
You got a haul.
What's your haul?
What's your haul?
Yeah. What'd you haul out of there?
Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted?
Did you haul it out?
Yeah. Did you get a haul?
Yeah.
I had one item because you two, they always have a Record Store thing.
Was it red?
No, it's black.
Oh.
Like black vinyl. Like a normal, regular
like
vinyl.
everyday vinyl?
Yeah, just like whatever, dude. But it was the Passengers album. The Passengers came out after Pop. It's the band is called The Passengers.
Everybody knows that.
And it's basically U2 and Brian Eno. And it's music for films that don't exist. It was an experimental album. Fun fact, the liner notes have descriptions of the movies that don't exist that the music is in. And one of the pieces of music is in an actual movie.
Okay.
And that's not the movie that they describe in the liner notes. It's in Heat, Michael Mann's Heat, with Al Pacino
and Robert De Niro.
Yeah, they've got they play the entire.
Val Kilmer was in that.
Yeah. My favorite role of his. I know everybody loves Tombstone, but my favorite was Val Kilmer in Heat. Anyway, the entire track is in there. It's when Al Pacino's going to a nightclub and he's she's got a big ass. that scene. Hoo-ah, hoo-ah.
Why'd I get mixed up with that bitch?
Because she got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up it.
And I remember seeing it. It was, I was like, I was in the theater, like looking around, going, "This is you too," and everybody's looking at me like,
nobody cares,
Mike.
Nobody cares, Mike.
Anyway,
nobody.
But
that's not why you called.
That's the main reason I went there. Usually, there's some Neanderthals and ne'er-do-wells thugs,
punks,
who will stream. They'll put this stuff on YouTube. So even the stuff that you can't hear because you don't have a phonograph or a turntable, you can get on the YouTubes.
Turntable, like your quote marks.
Yeah, nobody's doing that. So I actually ripped it. I'll give you a copy.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'll allow you to listen to that
for 59 cents
under my supervision.
Yes.
So there was a dude in front of me
at Record Store Day.
At the Record Store Day. We talked about this last year. You're supposed to know what you're going for when you get there.
Yes.
Only a psychopath shows up on Record Store Day and starts pulling out
starts browsing.
Because you have to go in one by one. You're in line.
Yeah.
And you have to wait until the dude's done.
Yeah.
And usually, if you're me, there's like one copy of the thing that you want. And you don't know if it's going to be there or not.
Right.
Meanwhile, you're waiting for Dippy Dipperton here, who's got to look at really.
I hate him.
Yeah, you're really going to look at what I don't know.
And he's like, do I really want this Chris Christopherson re-release?
He picks out Eddie Vedder at a solo album, and I'm like, you're wearing a suit.
Was it the one where he played the ukulele the whole time?
No, it's his new one. It just literally just came out. I came close, but I had a big haul already. I wanted to make sure I was afraid I wouldn't be able to.
How many albums did you get?
I want you to cut out at least 90% of this. Just keep the good stuff because I'm boring myself. Then Mike, why don't you shut up and let me talk about
just
something?
Shut up, yeah.
I think I'll shut up. I got a problem. But I've narrowed, and me and Bess have talked about this, I've narrowed my problems down to just a few things.
Okay.
Concerts, vinyl, and the video games.
Yeah.
And then when...
3 of the most expensive things, you narrowed it down. Yeah. I've narrowed my problems down to crack cocaine.
Just crack, heroin.
Black market diamonds.
PCP.
Exactly.
Only on Tuesdays.
Remember... Bleeding Gums Murphy on The Simpsons. Do you remember him?
I never really watched The Simpsons.
Okay, it was like season 1. African American guy with the glasses, and he played the saxophone.
But then I spent all my money on my $1,500 a day habit. I I'd like another Faberge egg, please.
Sir, don't you think you've had enough?
I tell you when I've had enough.
That was 37 years ago.
Oh, my Lord.
And I still laugh at that. We were in the car the other day, and Cameron started laughing. And I'm like, what's so funny? He goes, it's stupid, Dad. I'm thinking about something that happened last week, and it just popped in my head, and I'm laughing at it again. I'm like, dude, that's not stupid at all. That happens to me all the time. Because I said, forever ago, I was watching Letterman, and in his monologue, he said, I went to see The Matrix, and I took Mom with me. And 20 minutes into it, she leans over, and she said, David, where's Yoda? And here it is 25 years later, I'm still laughing at that joke. That is a good joke.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Vinyl. It's making a comeback, you know. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
So we saw the Minecraft movie.
Cameron went to see the
yesterday.
Minecraft movie.
Yeah. It is. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And I will say,
He said it was very stupid, but he laughed throughout. It was like one of the worst movies that he really liked.
it was really good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was well done.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about it.
He might not have said it was one of the worst movies.
When we were
I take that
driving
back.
to it, Charlie and Andrew told us about how there's a thing where people are like throwing chickens at the screen.
They're throwing popcorn
it's
everywhere.
The new Rocky Horror
It's
Picture.
I
thing.
was thinking the same thing.
And I was
I
like,
did
I
that
don't
in
know
high
about
school.
that. Normally,
it's just a jump to the left.
With your hands on your hip.
I don't spoil things,
Mm-hmm.
but I grind things in the ground before they even happen. I'll watch all the trailers. I'll see the interviews, all this stuff. And I'm the douchebag. If I go see a movie with you, like a Marvel movie or something, I'm holding back the entire time because I want to lean over and say, Chris Evans actually accidentally cussed in his second take, and they had to do like 3 takes. Stupid. Did you know that Aragorn broke his toe?
I did. What? Really? Yeah.
And,
You know, this Lord of the Rings, it's based on a book.
It's based on the book.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Gollum actually got Sam almost punched him because he stepped on his foot.
Yeah.
And hobbits have hairy feet.
Yeah.
I'm insufferable. So I try to keep it in check.
All the movies you and I have went to, I have never heard you say a word.
I know. I'm really good at don't make eye contact with me. If you look over and I'm looking, because you'll look over and I'll be like this, and you're like,
What are you looking at?
yeah. Val Kilmer really didn't want to be called Iceman. Tom Cruise made him be called that, and he's just that. Can you imagine that?
You don't like being looked at during the movie?
Throw stuff. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
the point is,
Don't look at me.
Andrew, one of these times, I was excited about a Marvel movie, and I said, "Do you want to see the trailer for I don't know what Magic Mike 3 or whatever the hell it was?"
It's just, the book was better.
The guy that throws circles at people.
Yeah.
And
What?
The with the cape. Magic dude with the
throws
he makes
circles.
spinny circles.
Oh,
and throws
Dr.
people in.
Strange.
He saw like 50 variations, and one of them he wins the jackpot. And
Are you talking about Magic Mike or Spot in the Spider-Man movie?
no, the flippy guy with the hood. Magic Mike. What
Okay.
is his name? Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah.
The guy.
Lonnie Donegan.
He played the dragon in The Hobbit.
Oh.
Messerschmitt. What's his name?
Mr. Schmidt Bumber.
What's his name? Oh, I got early onset dementia.
No, I want you to keep guessing.
Humperdiddle Sassenfrass. Harry Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah.
Which I swear is a fake name.
What's his
Just like
name? What's
Benedict
his no?
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, but what's his character? Captain Mike. What is his guy
In the Marvel movies?
Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
Spinny. Doctor Strange.
It's Dr. Spinny.
Dr.
He throws the circle on people. He
Name one thing he did besides throw the circle on people.
Well,
he's a surgeon.
He did that thing with his fingers.
Hello.
Throwing
He
circle
brought everybody back
through circles
to defeat Thanos
through a circle. He's circle guy.
Portal. Cameron, Mike, a portal.
My point is,
Okay.
we've gotten way off the point. Andrew's like, I don't want to watch the trailer for it. I don't want to have anything spoiled. Like, that odd.
doesn't spoil it.
Why would you want to not see the trailer?
Right.
And I pondered for days, months,
Years.
weeks. And then, so with Minecraft, it wasn't my idea to see it. It was Bess's idea. Let's all go watch Minecraft. I didn't know jack about it. I knew it was about mines and it was about crafting.
Mm-hmm.
And we went, and that made the movie so much more enjoyable. I had no idea Jason Momoa was in it. And they show his character from like behind and different angles.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, that's going to be hilarious if that's Jason Momoa. And it turned around, and it was him. And I cackled.
Yeah.
I was the only one that laughed at that part when he turned around and looked at the camera. I was like, that's awesome. So many great one-liners and stupid. I can see why it's the Rocky Horror Picture, whatever. It's like people were shouting out lines at it. There was like a gaggle of drunk 5-year-olds behind us.
Yeah.
And they were yelling lines out to it. But I highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, movie theater owners aren't thrilled.
Yeah, Jack Black had to come out and do a public service announcement.
Yeah, they're like, well, somebody else has said, why are you spending $14 on a bucket of popcorn and then throwing it?
Yeah. And someone threw a slushie?
Yeah. Oh, now don't do that.
Yeah.
No, it ain't the same as when we went to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show in high school. Because you could buy a bag of rice for $1.12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You throw that and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Bring your squirt guns. And squirt guns at Rocky Horror Picture Show were fine as long as you weren't one of those who was squirting it at the screen.
Okay.
Guys, go back in time, see the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and don't squirt water at the screen.
Yeah.
Don't squirt it at the screen.
Yeah.
Hey! I've started having some real fun on the internet. Because
the internet.
Remember when I told you, I like to piss people off on the internet? When I was talking about David Lee Roth music,
you're good at
whatever.
it. Yeah.
I've been pretty good. I've started doing, and this is, you can do this on any comment, but it's best to do it on comments where people are arguing. So if you say somebody's talking about the album Back in Black, and then inevitably someone is going to say Bon Scott was better than Brian Johnson, which one, he's not. Two, it's like that argument goes absolutely nowhere because Bon Scott is no longer with us, and it's not really an argument worth having because Brian Johnson joined the band, and they became, Back in Black was like one of the best or the best albums by a second singer of all time.
Is he really Tom Jones?
No,
He is
not. No, he's not. I think they know each other. I think they
Andy
met.
Kaufman and the piano guy. He's not like that.
No, he's not. But what I've started doing is making obvious comments on these posts. People started, Bon Scott was better, Brian Johnson was better. I'm like, AC/DC, they did Highway to Hell. Click, send. I was on someone was talking about the Avengers and the Avengers hasn't been the same since Endgame, and they've screwed it up, and Disney Plus is horrible and they're ruining this. Chris Evans played Captain America. Click, send, right? And I love this, and every opportunity I can get, I do that. And sometimes the post will be about biscuits and gravy, and I'll say Diana Ross was lead singer of the Supremes. Send.
Do people get all frothy?
Every now and then, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Making obvious comments is just fun.
Yeah.
And I challenge you to do that. A fan of the show sent me a message the other day, says, you were right about that Soup Lovers Club. The Soup Lovers group posted this recipe for like ambrosia salad. But when I was on that, everyone was like sitting there talking about soup. I'm like, I like soup. Send.
Yeah. They started posting like AI images of a grandma saying, I miss my kids, and she's holding a soup with an apple in it.
Soup with an apple soup?
Yeah, apple soup.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers all-beef foot-long hot dogs. Whoppers are packed full of flavor and guaranteed to be a hit at your next tailgate party. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, we'll refund your money guaranteed. So what are you waiting for? Get a family pack of Whoppers today. You'll be glad you did. Now back to Mike and Larry.
So you and Bess had a new argument about coffee mugs.
Yeah, about coffee mugs.
Mike Odell, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She said,
Cincinnati's Comedy Podcast.
by the way, I'm on to you and what you're doing with the mugs.
Oh.
So this intrigued, this piqued my interest.
The gig is up.
The gig is up. Mm-hmm. And then I said, what the hell are you talking about? And she said, I just didn't know that you cared that much about them. I'm like, what is this? And then I said, is this about my Indiana Jones mug?
Uh-huh.
And she laughed and she said, yeah, you put it up in the cabinet where I can't reach it. And I said, you're damn right. That's my Indiana Jones mug. And I am the only one that can drink out of the Indiana Jones mug. And she said, why? And I said, I'll tell you why.
Because I'm the man.
Well, no.
Okay.
I mean, that's understood.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why is because that mug is priceless. I've tried to buy another Indiana Jones mug, and I can't find one. Now, this mug has been through years, 10 plus years of dishwashing, and has never faded at
No
all.
kidding.
Indy is still on there.
Wow.
Raiders of the Lost Ark
Wow.
logo is still on there. The handle is a whip, and then it coils around the whip at the bottom.
Okay.
And it's not that the mug hasn't been used. Oh, I've drank my fair share.
I've drank from the mug of Indiana
coffee
Jones.
From the Indiana Jones mug.
Yeah.
And then I noted months ago that Bess started to use the Indiana Jones
Did she
mug,
ask your permission?
and she would leave it upon the couch. She likes to enjoy her coffee while on the phone on the couch, and she will sequester the mug right at the
that word
corner,
fits there,
and
but-
then occasionally we'll leave it there for anyone to come through with a mallet, a baseball bat,
With,
or a
ill
bowling
intentions.
ball and destroy the
said
Indiana
mug.
Jones mug. And she said, well, no one's going to break the Indiana Jones mug. And I said, I thought that until someone broke one of my Rogue One mugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smashed it.
Nobody means to break
No.
the mug. Yeah. But when you leave it out in
Yeah.
the middle of traffic,
Yeah. So I said,
why don't you just
the only
put it on
person,
the edge of a building?
the only person that's going to break the Indiana Jones mug is me.
Mike Odell.
And she laughed and she said, why does it matter if you break it? I was like, because I bought it. It's my mug.
Yeah.
And if I decide that it's time for it to go to the great mug cabinet in the sky, then that happens. And if I'll be heartbroken, I'll pick up the pieces, I'll weep, I may try to glue it back together, but it won't be the same.
No.
But I said, if any of you,
Any
Charlie,
Jones, any of y'all-
Andrew,
any of y'all.
Marbles, Booba, any of you breaks that mug, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
If it's a kid, out of the house.
Out of the house.
Done. I don't know where you're going to live. Go talk to Cameron.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can do a poop, pick up poop in the Durbin's yard if they let you.
Which they won't.
And I said, if you break it, I don't know what we'll do. I mean, we'll have to. I don't know what we'll do. I don't know what we'll do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not allowed to touch my mug. And
So you pulled the "you're not allowed to" phrase in this house to your wife.
she said, "Why did you pick that cabinet?" And I said, "Because that's where
That's where you put the mugs.
that's where the peeps are." No, it's a separate cabinet. It's with the peeps. If you want to know where my most treasured mugs are, look for the peeps.
Look where your
And
most treasured.
There's the mugs. And she laughed and she said, "Well, that's probably a good place because no one in this house is going to go for the peeps but you." And I said, "Yeah."
Right.
And it's not just the Indiana Jones mug. It's my Death Valley mug, of which I have two. One of which I wanted to buy at the gift shop, and I didn't when I was there. And then I thought I should have bought that. And you can't order it online. I had to call their gift shop in Death Valley and talk to the guy
I
on the
remember.
phone
And he was-
guide him through the store. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
And he sent it, and he signed a little thing.
And it was like
nice.
114 degrees outside when he did
Yeah,
that.
it was crazy.
I don't know what that has to do with it,
They grow the mugs in the desert.
That's right.
And then they pick them
right.
and they bring them in.
Well, they don't really grow them, but they do. They bake underground.
Yeah, well, the mugs are made in Minnesota and then shipped out to Death Valley. But that's not the point, Darin. The point is, I have that mug, and if it breaks, I'm not going to call that guy again. What am I going to tell him? My kid broke that mug?
I mean, you could tell him that.
And then she said, well, you let us use the New York mug. And I said, yeah. I heart New York. Like, look at the heart. It's pink. It was cherry red when I bought it. It's pink now.
I think the kids are rubbing the heart and they're rubbing the paint off of the mug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
See-
said, that's not going to happen to Indy. It's not going to happen to my U2 mugs. It's not going to happen to my Death Valley mugs.
I don't use any of my collector's mugs.
Well, and we went there too.
Yeah.
She said, there's some mugs I've never seen you use. And I said, yes. And no one shall use those
Well,
mugs.
and let me tell you, because this didn't turn into a fight. By the way, Libby and I, we never fight.
Yeah.
We don't argue. We never have a crossword. we never, ever, nothing ever
Yeah.
comes betwixt us. But she did ask me one day, why do you have so many coffee mugs down here on your office desk? And to which I said, why does it matter? And I shot her a look like, are we done here?
Yeah. She said we have too many
I was
mugs.
just playing Libby. That's just...
She said we
just
have
for
too
the
many
podcast.
too many mugs
It's material
already.
for the podcast.
And I said
just
you
playing.
can never have too many mugs. These
No,
are my
no.
special mugs. These are Mike's special mugs, and they shan't be be shared amongst the common folk. They're for me. And yeah, there are mugs up there that I will not use until I'm in the old folks' home.
Right.
When they've wheeled me out into the porch. Oh, what's Dad doing? I don't know. He's got that damn Hard Rock Cafe. I've got a Hard Rock Cafe mug that I'm going to use when I'm in my 80s.
So yeah, my Late Show with David Letterman mug, I will never, ever drink from it. Okay? I have a Hello Deli mug that was given to me by the man whose face is on the mug.
Yeah.
Rupert G. gave it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking from that. And I don't even let anybody wash it. It's like, that's my mug. I have a mug from all 4 TV stations where I've worked. I have 2, count them, 2 Irritable Dad Syndrome mugs in my collection.
Yeah. I gave Bess too much credit, so I'm going to make you mad now.
Oh, okay.
So originally I said, I got your hint with the Indiana Jones mug, or something along those lines. I actually wrote down, quote, exactly what she said, and I'm going to read it.
Okay.
This is how the argument started.
Okay.
And tell me that this doesn't automatically put you in a fight or flight mode.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Quote, I got your hint with the mug from that show with that man.
The show with that man?
That's how she refers to
She
Indiana Jones.
referred to Indiana Jones as just that man?
That man.
Who was in a show?
That man, that show.
That show with that man.
Yeah. And through the course of this argument, I said, I am not allowing you to pick the good mug. You got away with the good pancake. You're not getting away with the good mugs.
Harrison Ford is not just that man.
I knew
Harrison
you- I knew
Ford
you were gonna get
is
hung up on that.
the man.
It was like barbed wire. I just laid that out in front of you, and you walked right into
The
it. She
man.
said it. You know, the next time we're all together, tomorrow or Thursday, whenever you're helping move the trampoline?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you get to tell her what you think about her calling Harrison Ford
That man.
And Indiana Jones movies, that show.
Yeah, it's not a show, it's a movie. It's a masterpiece.
It's a cinematic...
It's an experience.
It's a cinematic
It's a way of
experience.
life.
They've got a stunt show about it in Disney, for God's sakes.
My son, Jacob, his middle name is Harrison, named after Harrison Ford, and named
go.
after that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, on your mug.
Yeah.
That mug should go to Jacob.
From that show.
Yeah.
Indy's not going out like that. And if he does go out like that, it's going to be me that sends him there.
Why don't you bring that mug with that man from that show down here and put it on that shelf?
I like him being where the peeps, where he belongs.
Okay. Every day I drink my coffee out of my Charlie Brown Christmas mug. I do.
Even when it's not Christmas.
No,
Okay.
Charlie Brown on it. It's a big mug.
Does it have like little Christmas lights around it?
It's got him standing there in his little
Little tree with the-
tree.
with
It's
the-
a red mug, and he's
Okay.
got his little
Okay.
Christmas outfit on and everything. Yeah.
Do you want to borrow a mug so you have?
No,
another
I've
mug?
got
You
mugs.
okay, you got mugs.
God, I've got so
Well, you
many
just
mugs.
said you have so many mugs down
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
I've got a ton of collector's mugs, but upstairs we have a bunch of mugs.
You know what's-
years ago when I had my first apartment in Johnson City and I started collecting mugs, I had them stacked in my kitchen, and I just about lost my shit because I came in there and people had started drinking out of my mugs. I'm like, what are you doing?
My question is, what the hell?
What are you doing?
It's like sleeping with a man's wife.
Party was over with.
Don't touch.
Everybody out.
Yeah.
I've got a Max Headroom mug. I love my Max Headroom mug.
Yeah.
I have a Regis and Kathy Lee mug.
Okay. So yeah, we've had a grand total of 2 fights. One
Yeah.
about pancakes, one about mugs.
Yeah.
So I go in another 20 years, we'll be in our 60s. I don't know what we're gonna 70s.
Get ready for fight number 3.
Fight number 3.
Woman, get ready. Here we go.
This portion of our show is brought to you by books. Buy a book at a reputable bookstore or check one out for free at your local public library. Read one today. They're really cool. Now, back to the show.
Before we go on with any more fun and frivolity that is Irritable Dad Syndrome, last week I was talking about Adam Needham coming on the show and maybe he could help get Chuck Woolery on the show. Chuck Woolery's dead, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
So my apologies to Chuck Woolery's family and then to anybody who held out hope that Chuck would be on the show. Chuck Woolery's not going to be on the show. And neither is Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale passed away today.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
It's time now for a new segment we call I Don't Get It. Please welcome your hosts, Mike and Darin.
This should be a Kroger story of the week, but it was so special, I decided to create a brand new segment called I Don't Get It.
Oh.
So I'm in Kroger,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going through the line, and the cashier is very nice, and the lady bagging my groceries is very nice. And the lady bagging my groceries, she looks at me and she says, "Would you like your milk in a bag?" And I said, "Yes." And she started laughing her ass off. Just almost holding her sides, laughing. And the cashier says, "It's a good thing you asked, isn't it?" I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't.
And that's the segment.
This has been I Don't Get It, brought to you this week by the Betty White stamp. Don't miss this golden opportunity to add Betty White's smiling face to your next piece of outgoing mail. Available now at your local post office or order online at store.usps.com.
I will say, as a plug for last week's episode, I knew last week's was going to be good because it was good in here.
Last week's episode was a great episode.
And then there are other episodes where it's like, okay, Darin's walking away from here with a half-eaten rat, a paper clip,
and some
and
gum.
and he's got to put it together.
No, we have had episodes where neither of us had any faith at all.
No.
And then
Yeah.
turned out pretty good.
Turned out pretty good. Yeah.
But last week's episode, I had a great feeling about it. And then once, we put it all together, it was a really good episode.
Good. Well, I think we do have a new listener, so last week's episode would have been released today, which means he's probably
April
the first,
15th. Yeah.
first one you listened to. It's the dude that got us popcorn at the movie theater. I wore my don't ask me if I'm an idiot and something funny.
Yeah.
I don't even know our own things anymore. I don't think it's funny.
Don't ask me. I'm an idiot and I think it's funny.
What's the thing? What's the thing? It's stupid because you're looking at it. What is it called? What? Oh my God!
I'm going to let you keep going.
I can't believe it's
In
not
my
funny.
defense,
I
thought it was funny.
I think I like.
Don't blame me. Don't look at me because I think it's funny. Okay.
I can't believe it's not funny. Anyway, it had the QR code, and he said, "What does that go to?" And it's like, "Goes to my podcast." He's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And he pulled out his phone, and he's like, "Irritable Dad Syndrome," and he guffawed
No
while he went to
kidding.
go get our popcorn.
Yeah.
And Bess Andrew looked at me like, his dad is James Hetfield or something. It's like, there you go, bud. I'm famous. And then Bess looked at me. She's like, he's going to listen to your podcast. I was like, probably not, but he at least knows that it exists. And then he came back and he said he was going to check it out.
Well, back in the day, a few years ago, when you and I went to see Lewis
and Clark.
Lewis C of K, you were asking me about my job, and I was telling you about what I do with my classic TV job. And this guy who looked like a biker turns around and goes, "How come you guys don't do promos for the Golden Girls?" And I said, "Because we don't air the Golden Girls."
Yeah,
and God,
it's
I
not.
wish we did.
Yeah.
So he started chatting me up about the Golden Girls, and then he listened to us for a while.
yeah.
And I wonder if he's still listening to us.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I was looking at the stats for our podcast.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more people overseas listening to us. This is totally crazy because, looking at the last 5 episodes, we have listeners in Canada, Germany, the Russian Federation, Finland, United Kingdom, France, India, Philippines, and Argentina. I'm trying to picture somebody in India sitting here listening to us talk about porcupines and peacocks.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're listening to us overseas, please drop us a line. Go to IrritableDadSyndrome.com. Go to our Facebook page, Irritable Dad, or Facebook, /IrritableDad.edu, whatever. And send us a message because I would love to hear your thoughts about this podcast, because I can only imagine living in India or Germany or Finland and listening to us, and it's like, do you have any idea what we're talking about? The stupid that comes out of our mouths.
We had a fan in France for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was convinced it was some old lady in France that accidentally subscribed and didn't know how to get it off of
She
the
just
phone.
died.
She just
and
died.
every week it was like she had it on automatic download.
Yeah.
We hired someone to do our taxes, and I got the call, "Hey, your tax forms are ready. Come by and pick up all the stuff. We need you to bring a check to pay for your services." And I said, okay. And the tax lady that we use is in Mason, Ohio, and it takes about a half hour to 40 minutes to get there, depending on how many red lights you hit and all that. So I'm driving out there to get the taxes. I get about a mile away, and I realize I have forgotten my checkbook. So I went in and I said, I came to pick this up. I forgot my checkbook. Is there any other way that I can pay? And she says, well, don't pay with your credit card. Do not pay with your credit card. You pay with your credit card. There's a 3.5% interest charge per dollar amount, which is stupid. And she says, just run out to the nearest Sunoco station or whatever and take out the money and then just come back. We'll wait. And I'm thinking, I don't have a debit card anymore. I used to have a debit card.
You don't have a debit card?
I used to have one, and then it expired. I just forgot to order one. And I went for so long without ordering one because...
How do you live? What do you do? Do you barter?
I do. I barter. I sell tomatoes on the street corner.
I don't have...
I have a...
Cash. I have this. It's a Timex.
I have... I have another credit card that takes stuff out of our checking account.
All right.
Yeah. So I went to my bank, and I walk in, and Mike, all I had to do was say, I need to withdraw this much cash from my thing. Did I? No. Yeah. I walk in and says, oh, man, I went to my accountant to pick up our taxes. I forgot a check, and I don't have a debit card anymore, so I need to take some cash. And if you, how are you? What's going on? Whatever. Yeah. Strike up a conversation with this guy. Yeah. He's chatty. Yap, yap, yap. And I told him, I said, the reason... I was like, I was going to just pay with my credit card, but there's a 3.5% interest fee on it. He goes, 3.5%? That's outrageous. I'm like, I know. And so he stops me. He says, you know what? We ought to get them. He says, hang on. And he goes in the back room, comes back out with this business card.
Okay.
If you could recommend this company, they could handle all of those charges for at like, I think 2.5% interest. Okay. Like, why am I going...
Did you join an MLM while you're in the bank?
I don't know what that means. Why am I going to take this credit card so that my accountant could charge less for credit card payments? I don't have a horse in this race, right? Yeah. But so I'm talking about people who charge a lot. And I'm like, when was the last time you bought concert tickets? Yeah, okay. And he had no idea that Riverbend charges per person parking fee. Yeah. If you go to Riverbend Music Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio, if 4 of you go, all 4 of you pay to park. And he said, that's outrageous. I said, I know. And I'm just talking and talking. I'm like, Darin, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You
just stop talking.
Yeah.
Get your money. He didn't need to know why I needed the money. He didn't need to know about Riverbend. He didn't need to know any of that stuff. But I'm just blah, blah, blah.
Do you think you're naturally like that, or do you think this podcast has turned you into that? Okay.
That's why I jumped at this. I'm like, I love talking.
Because I think this podcast has made me into one of those guys. Because I'll do the same thing. I just need to go get a snow cone. It's like, man, I was over there. It's been hot all day. Can you believe how hot it is out here?
How hot is it?
With all the mosquitoes.
Oh, I hate the mosquitoes.
Swamp ass.
I know.
Hey, give me a grape. And, all I really do is got to say, get
the last time I got one of these and I got sunblock all it. Have you ever drank sunblock?
Oh, yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, banana boat's the worst.
It is. Tropicana. Woo! It smells like coconut. It don't taste like coconut.
More like Tropicant.
Waka, waka, waka.
What the hell? Have we jumped the shark? Was that it? Was that the Fonz? There's nowhere to go. We got one from Kelly
More
Hills.
like Tropicant. Don't get me started. Who are these people?
More like banana don't. Jesus.
Okay, hold on a second. This is the first time I've had to wipe tears out of my eyes.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and we joke a lot on this podcast about all kinds of things. But one thing we never laugh about is wallpaper removal. You see, there comes a time when a home needs a change, and that can be very emotional. Saying goodbye to that old wallpaper is just the same as saying goodbye to all the life-changing memories that happened in your home. Your baby's first steps, That time your son brought his girlfriend home for the first time and now she's his wife? And who can forget that Christmas when your Uncle Joe got stupid drunk and fell backwards into the Christmas tree? Oh man, those were good times. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, diff. So what are you waiting for? Run out to your local hardware store and get an entire pallet full of diff. You'll be glad you did. Now back to the show.
We have an argument that we haven't had yet.
What's
you
that?
You haven't argued with me yet.
Okay.
You
Am I
asked
supposed to?
Yes. You're supposed to at least ask what the Frank. You asked me because we had a technical issue wherein we recorded our podcast.
Yes.
But it sounded like we recorded it from the inside of a tuna can.
While a nuclear war was going on outside.
And then you offered, hey, let's re-record that on a Saturday night. And I said, I can't.
Right.
Because we're going to see a band.
The Dubliners.
The Young Dubliners.
Yeah.
And then you probably saw later that I didn't go see the band.
Oh,
we
no,
didn't go.
No.
Because
I don't know that you know this, but I don't hang on everything that you do or don't do.
I did something. I posted something.
Uh-huh.
I posted up to if anybody's interested in these tickets or something. I posted them on Ticketmaster.
I didn't see that.
Which, by the way, if you ever buy tickets and then you try to sell them through Ticketmaster,
Just burn them.
Just burn them. Just whatever. You're not going to sell
You're
them.
better off just throwing them up in the air and hoping someone finds them on the ground.
My favorite thing about it, I've done it twice, and both times they didn't sell. They will tell you.
Oh my God! It was like trying to find when you were trying to get rid of those Alanis Morissette tickets.
Yeah, I ended up going.
Yeah,
and I had a seat to put my beer in. But when you try to sell them, they say, and it said in this one, most tickets are selling between $31 and $35. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll sell it for that. So I picked 31 and said, you can't sell these tickets for less than $73. I was like, well, why did you tell me that?
Yeah.
Why did you tell me?
Yeah.
So I was like, nobody's going to buy them for 73. So I clicked and told it 73, and he's like, we'll get right on it. And I just told Bess, like, we just burned all that money.
Yeah.
The reason is I did not feel well. I didn't do anything that night. I did not feel it. But I told Bess, it's like, I posted this on Facebook. It's just a matter of time before Darin's like, why you could have done the podcast. And I was ready to tell you that I was ill and I didn't feel well. And we never had that interaction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then you just came in the next Tuesday like everything's normal.
Yeah.
And we never had that argument.
So you're hoping that I would just like, hey, what happened?
I was rared up.
Go.
I was ready to go. I was ready to slam my hand on the table and say, look, dude, I was sick. I'm not here at your beck and call just because you want to do it on a Saturday night. Yeah, I had concert tickets, and I paid to not see this band. That's how sick I was. We had front row seats right in front of the stage. We could have reached out, boop, and fist bumped the dude.
The
ukulele player, or whatever the hell, the
they
bagpipe.
They haven't been the same since Seamus joined the group, though.
And you never said anything, so I had all that energy ready to go, and it just never went anywhere.
That upsets me that you were just ready to fight me.
I fight.
Why do you have all this pent-up rage against me? I'm your friend.
Fight is a strong word.
You and I are like brothers.
Fight's a strong word.
Okay.
Attack you. I was ready to attack you.
No. Oh, that's not strong. I was just ready to rip your head off.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like I was ready for that. I don't know if that's in my psyche, if that's how I was raised, if I'd be ready to, fight or flight. Come on, come at me, bro. Come at me. Ask me why I couldn't record, and you just never did.
Sorry? No. I was going to say you should have let me know, but I
almost called you Sunday morning. I was like, do you have something to say to me, Darin?
No, you should have let me know Saturday. I might have been able to have gone, but I have no idea who they are.
They're the Young Dubliners. You've heard of the Dubliners. This is the younger one. These are the next generation.
That's Emilio Estevez.
Charlie Sheen.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Wait.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah, Casey Kasem.
Casey Samako. Yeah. That guy that was going to be famous, and then I don't know what he did.
Yay. If you go to our Facebook page, go to facebook.com and then look up Irritable Dad Syndrome. I posted a video of a bunch of celebrities. I can't remember when it was. It was in the 80s, I believe. And they're you can't say that they're singing because most of them are lip syncing Let It Be. And I need to do more research on this, but I also don't want to do any research on this because the weirdness, the obscureness of who is in this video is worth all the money in the world, because it starts
Philip
out.
Michael Thomas is in the video for a long time.
Philip Michael Thomas,
he does the solo.
he cannot play air guitar. He just can't. And then the girl who was on before him, she can't do it worse than he can't do it. But it opens up with Huey Lewis of Huey Lewis and the News standing next to Jason Alexander, who is George Costanza on Seinfeld.
I'm not treating you to lunch anymore. You had to tell Julie that I made a special point of telling you that I bought you the big salad, didn't you?
And Huey Lewis, his mouth is moving, but that's not Huey Lewis singing Let It Be.
Yeah.
And then Jason Alexander starts lip syncing Let It Be. And then it goes to like Sherilyn Fenn. There's a lot of Norwegian actors and actresses and people that I don't know. But in this video is Lou Ferrigno, who was the Incredible Hulk, Rick Schroeder, formerly Ricky Schroeder. The guy who played Freddy Krueger is in this.
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Yes. Tanya Harding, Olympic
I saw the
skater.
Tanya Harding. I was like, what? Really? Wow.
Kelly McGillis from Top Gun.
Okay.
And when she starts singing, quote marks, she sounds like the lady from Stranger Things, Kate Bush.
Okay.
She sounds like Kate Bush.
Okay.
And it goes on, and it's all green screened.
Okay.
And they're standing on a beach, and the whole time you're like,
Why is this here?
what is this?
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
And last year,
Is somebody hungry somewhere that they're trying to get
don't know.
money for food?
It reminded me of when Saturday Night Live did that whole gathering of artists to that benefit to save the free-range chickens, and Michael Bolton was actually there.
Mr. Farmer, take that feeding tube out of that chicken's throat. Build a world where cages don't exist.
And then what's her face was Cyndi Lauper, and Michael Bolton looks at her like, damn, what was that? You know, set the chickens free. It reminded me a lot of that.
Set the chickens free. Yeah.
But last year Netflix did this great documentary on We Are the World, and if you haven't watched it, it's amazing. It really, really is amazing. I want to see a documentary on this video, and I've got to know why they chose who they chose.
It's probably just who happened to be in the Denny's when they walked by.
It reminded me of when Jimmy Kimmel did the Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And Meatloaf, Joan Jett, Robin Williams poured water all down his chest. You've got to watch it. It's just weird, and I don't know how I haven't known anything about it until now.
One more thing that I want to slip in here before we... What?
Hello. That's what she
If
said.
you're not following Andrew Dice Clay on Instagram and TikTok, you need to. Did I link you to the video with Paul Stanley?
Paul Stanley
Stanley
had no idea who he
runs
was.
into Paul Stanley and he does the whole, "Hey, you're here for the picture. I get you ready for the picture." And Paul Stanley's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the guy. You wanted the picture. You know who I am."
Yeah, Paul has no idea who he is.
There are some
And
celebrities.
I love how Dice just loves that people don't know who he is
Yeah,
anymore.
he
Back in the
loves it.
day, it would have driven him crazy. How do you not know who the f*** I am? You
Yeah,
know?
and for like a couple of months, he was going around with John Lovitz. Those are gold. Him getting into fights with John Lovitz. Like they're walking through New York, and they'll just walk into a store, and they have a fight in front of the clerk, and the clerk has no idea what's happening. Mm-hmm. And John Lovitz is giving it right back to him. I don't know. I love it when I don't want to be mean. I've always liked Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh yeah, me too.
I've always liked him. But I always thought there was a point where, okay, now it's time to stop. But like, I don't know that. I think he's funnier now than he ever has been.
Yeah.
He's what's it called? He's aging gracefully. His career, it didn't like go down in flames.
Right.
It's actually getting better and better.
He's a very good drummer. He is a very good drummer.
I have seen him. Yeah,
He's damn good.
Yeah.
And he's also a really good actor. Yeah, he was in. There was a
Ford Fairlane.
No,
I liked the Adventures of Ford Fairlane, and then Casual Sex was the
I
other
Rock
one.
with K Rock. Yeah. Kate Blanchett did a movie,
Lord of the Rings.
and he wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
He wasn't.
No,
He was one of the elves.
He was Gollum. We're so happy that you joined us on this very special episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Definitely.
We want you to go to IrritableDadSyndrome.com. And like I said, this is no longer a business. We've become a charity. If you
Well, we are here at the grace of our supporters. We have some very loyal supporters.
We have very loyal, very good supporters who we thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah.
Our patron members who help us keep this podcast alive. If we had more patron members, hey, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're not just throwing money away. You get free stuff when you become a patron member of the show. You get like free coffee mugs, and you'll get a Christmas card every year, and you have access
to the that we don't air because it's like
way too good.
Whoa. Yeah.
It's too hot for TV. Yeah. So anyway.
40 minutes of this episode is going to be on there.
We hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Oh, that actually made me mad because I'm sick of you being funnier than I am. Dave reads an intro.
Oh.
Act like you know what we're doing.
There was something else I was going to say, and it's gone. My brain is not working tonight.
Does the red sound better than the black?
Red looks sexier than
But
the
I
black.
know it looks sexier, but does it sound sexier?
No.
It doesn't.
The mugs are important. Mugs are a thing.
Mugs are a way of life.
They are.
Yeah.
And I would display them if I were allowed. I said the F word in the first 5 seconds of the podcast.
Not the first time you've done it. Won't be the last. F.
Zippity F day, zippity day, zippity. I watched it with the audio off because I was on the turlet, and I don't like hearing music when I'm on the turlet. You got a voice made for YouTube. I also damn. Get it out of my system.
Pardon me, sir, but can I buy one more Faberge egg? You guys like, sir, haven't you had enough? I'll tell you when I've had enough.
But what I hauled out of there.
Dude,
It's our podcast. We do
talk about whatever you want.
We're going to have to do like 2 hours that you'll get maybe a half hour
Listen,
out of.
I will cut out the stuff. Stop telling me I need to cut out stuff. I know.
You can cut out this argument.
I know that.
So Darin,
And that all goes
Andrew,
at the end anyway.
Andrew said,
Take 2.
"You have my permission to padoom that." One ring to get them all.
One ring rules the
to
world,
get 'em.
yeah.
One ring to slap them all, and in the darkness, get them. Is that what it says?
Yeah,
One ring.
that's exactly what it said, word for word, Mike. He's a lot of something people don't know. A lot of things that, God.
A lot of activities.
Some things that people don't know about Andrew Dice Clay.
I rock with K-Rock.
Oh! What's your name, Neil and Bob, or is that what you do? Oh! There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids, her uterus fell out.
Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch? Hey, take your ring to Mordor.
No, I'm in the front of the line. We're all standing backward.
We're all standing. I'm sorry, I forgot that one.
Is this the back of the line?
I tell you when I've had enough.